Hello everyone, I'm Rupali Meshram. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for my latest updates. Good morning students. Today we are going to start with Standard 6 History Chapter 5 Religious Trends in Ancient India. 6 points we are going to study in this lesson. First one, Jainism. Second, Buddhism. Third, Judaism. Fourth point, Christianity. Fifth, Islam. Sixth, Zoroastrianism. Towards the end of the Vedic period, the minute details of yajna rites acquired undue importance. Only the priestly class had knowledge of those details. Others no longer had the freedom to gain that knowledge. The Varna system restrictions became very hard in the course of time. A person's social position was decided by the Varna into which he was born rather than by his achievements. In previous time, we will see that the people were divided according to their Varna, not by their achievements. That is why from the Upanishad period, we see that attempts were made to give a wider scope of religious thought and not restrict it only to yajna rites. However, the thought in Upanishads focused on the existence and nature of the soul. It was difficult for ordinary people to understand it. This gave rise to different sects that emphasize the worship of particular deities. For example, the Shaiva sect of Shiva worshippers and the Vaishnava sect of the worshippers of Vishnu. It had been decided that the Shaiva sect the deity will be Shiva, they will worship Shiva, and the Vaishnava sect, they will worship Vishnu deity. Different Puranas were written with reference to these deities. Certain trends around the 6th century BCE made attempts to express religious thoughts in such a way that the common man would understand it easily. Many people realize that every person is free to find ways of his own upliftment. This led to the establishment of new religions. These religions emphatically stated that discrimination on the basis of caste has no place in an individual's upliftment. The work of Vardhaman Mahavir and Gautam Buddha is of special importance among the proponents of new thoughts. As Vardhaman Mahavir and Gautam Buddha, they taught that the upliftment of people will belong only by not discriminating any people on the basis of caste or place or their upliftment. Jainism. Jainism is one of the ancient religions in India. This religion gives importance to the principle of non-violence. According to the Jain tradition, a person who reveals religious knowledge is known as Tirthankar. There have been 24 Tirthankars in all. Vardhaman Mahavir is the 24th Tirthankar in the Jain religious tradition. Vardhaman Mahavir, 599 BCE to 527 BCE. BCE means before Christ era. There was a Mahajanpad known as Vriji, and that is known as the state of Bihar today. Its capital was Vaishali. Vardhaman Mahavir was born in Kundagram, a part of Vaishali. His father's name was Siddharth and mother's Trishala. Vardhaman Mahavir left his home and all comforts for the attainment of knowledge. He attained enlightenment after 12 and a half years of rigorous tap. This knowledge was pure or Keval. Therefore, he is also known as Kevali. He was called Jina or conqueror because the joy derived from physical comforts and the discomfort felt due to undesired things had no impact whatsoever on him. The term Jain derives from the word Jina. Vardhaman is said to be Mahavir because he had the resilience, the courage and conquer all passions. After the attainment of knowledge, he preached for about 30 years to explain the essence of religion to people. To make it easy for people to understand it, he spoke to them in Ardhamagdi, a people's language. The religion that he expounded laid stress on good conduct. The essence of his teaching for good conduct is contained in the 5 great vows, Panch Mahavratas, and the 3 jewels, Triratna. The assembly held by the Tirthankar to preach the people was known as Samvasaram in Ardhamagdi. Samvasaran was based on equality. People of all Varnas had entry to it. The Panch Mahavratas, the 5 great vows. These are 5 rules to be followed strictly. Ahimsa, Satya, Asatya, Aparigraha, Brahmacharya. What is the meaning of this all, the Panch Mahavratas? Now we are going to see one by one. First one, Ahimsa, that is non-violence. No living being should be hurt, injured or harmed through one's behavior. Second, Satya, that is truth. Every speech and action should be true. Third one, Asatya, non-stealing. Asatya means theft. Taking what belongs to others without their consent is theft or stealing. Asatya means not stealing anything. Fourth one, Aparigraha, that is non-attachment. Man tends to accumulate property due to greed. Aparigraha means not hoarding or accumulating anything in this way. Fifth one, Brahmacharya, that is chastity. It means leaving bodily pleasures and following the vows. Triratna means the 3 jewels. The 3 jewels are the 3 principles. First one, Samyak Darshan, that is right faith. Second, Samyak Jan, that is right knowledge. And third one is Samyak Charitra, that is right conduct. Samyak means balance. Samyak Darshan, to understand the truth in the preaching of the Tirthankar and to have faith in it. Samyak Jan, studying the preaching and philosophy of the Tirthankar regularly and learning its deep meaning. Samyak Charitra, strictly following the 5 great vows, that is non-violence, truth, non-stealing, non-attachment, chastity. Essence of his teachings. Among the teachings of Mahavir Anekantavada is considered to be very important in the quest for truth. It means pluralism or multiple viewpoints. In our quest for truth, if we focus on only one or two aspects or viewpoints and draw conclusion, the whole truth is not known. It means that when we are going to decide anything, we have to go to the conclusion by understanding each and every point of the life. Therefore, it is necessary to pay attention to all aspects of an issue. If people follow this, they develop tolerance towards the opinion of other people in society and give up the attitude of stubborn adherence to their own opinions. Means when we are talking with any person, we have to listen to the person also, and we have to keep our viewpoint also, and by it we have to take a conclusion. Vardhaman Mahavir taught the people that the greatness of a man does not depend on his varna, but on his excellent conduct. In the Vedic tradition, the doors of knowledge had slowly been closed to women, but Vardhaman Mahavir gave the rights of sannyas, the rights to renounce the world, to women too. His teachings were: love all living things, have mercy and compassion, and live and let live. Buddhism. Buddhism spread in India and in many countries outside India. Gautam Buddha was the founder of Buddhism. Gautam Buddha, 563 BCE to 483 BCE. Gautam Buddha was born at Lumbini in Nepal. His father's name was Shuddhodhan and mother's Maya Devi. His birth name was Siddhartha. He had attained knowledge of human life in its entirety. That is why he came to be known as the Buddha. He wanted to know why there is sorrow and suffering in human life. He left his home and all comforts in pursuit of the answer to this question. On Vaishakh Purnima, he was sitting in deep meditation under a peepal tree at Uravali near the city of Gaya in Bihar. That is when he attained the enlightenment or the highest knowledge. The tree is now known as the Bodhi tree, that is Bodhi Vraksh, and the place Uruvala is known as Bodh Gaya. He delivered his first sermon at Sarnath near Varanasi. His teachings is the first sermon are termed Dhamma. He set in motion the wheel of Dhamma in this sermon. Therefore, this event is called Dhamma Chakra Pavatan in Pali and Dharma Chakra Pravartan in Sanskrit. Later, he travelled on foot for nearly 45 years to preach Dhamma. He preached in the people's language, Pali. In Buddhism, the concept of taking refuge in Buddha Dharma and Sangha is important. It is known as Trisharan. The essence of the Dhamma is expounded is as follows. Arya Satyas, Noble Truths. There are 4 truths at the root of all human affairs. They are called Noble Truths or Arya Satyas. Dukkha, that is suffering. There is suffering in human life. Second, the cause of dukkha. There is a cause of suffering. Dukkha Nivaran. It is possible to end suffering. Pratipad. Pratipad means the way. This way leads to the end of suffering. This is the way of good conduct. It is known as the Ashtangic or Eightfold Path. Panchashil. Gautam Buddha asked people to follow 5 rules. The rules are called Panchashil. First one, stay away from killing animals. Second, stay away from stealing. Third, stay away from unethical conduct. Fourth, stay away from telling lies. Fifth, stay away from intoxicants. Buddha Sangha. He created a Sangha of bhikkhus to preach his religion. Followers who gave up their domestic life and entered the Sangha were called bhikkhus. They too travelled on foot like the Buddha to preach Dhamma to the people. There was a separate Sangha of women. They are called bhikkhunis. People of all varnas and castes could embrace Buddhism. Essence of his teachings. Gautam Buddha announced the freedom of human intelligence. He refused the discrimination based on things like varna. No one is greater or smaller by birth. Greatness depends on one's behavior or conduct. One of his famous quote is that even the little quail can chirp freely in her nest. This shows his thinking on the values of freedom and equality. He preached that, like men, women too had the right to their own upliftment. He opposed the rituals of yajna. His teachings of wisdom, prajna, moral virtues, sheel, and other values are aimed at the welfare of men. Compassion, that is karuna, for all living beings was an extraordinary feature of his personality. The tolerance preached by Gautam Buddha is a guiding principle not only for the Indian society but for all mankind even today. Do you know the Eightfold Path? Right view, the knowledge of the 4 noble truths. Second, right resolve, giving up cruelty, etc. Third, right speech, refrain from telling lies, telling tales, rude, harsh, and meaningless speech. Fourth, right conduct, stay away from killing animals, stealing, and uncontrolled behavior. Fifth, right livelihood, using only the proper means of livelihood. Sixth, right effort, making effort to avoid wrong acts, giving up wrong acts, undertaking and maintaining good acts. Seventh, right mindfulness, being mindful to remove passions and concentrating on trying to understand one's own feelings and mind. Eighth, right concentration, experiencing deep meditation and concentration. Lokayat, the ancient trend of thought known as Lokayat or Charvak, is also important. It emphasized independent thought and rejected the authority of the Vedas. In the ancient period, new religious trends and thoughts went on emerging in India. Later on, religions like Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and Zoroastrianism also took root in the Indian society. Judaism. People belonging to the Jaivish religion may have arrived in Kochi in Kerala around the 1st to 3rd century of the Christian era. They believe that there is only one God. Judaism emphasizes justice, truth, peace, love, compassion, humility, charity, ethical speech, and self-respect. Their prayer house is known as synagogue. Christianity. Christianity is a religion founded by Jesus Christ. It has spread all over the world. St. Thomas, one of the 12 disciples of Christ, came to Kerala in the 1st century of the Christian era. He established a church at Palayur in Trichur district in 52 CE. According to the teaching of Christianity, there is only one God. He is the loving Father of all and is omnipotent. It is believed that Jesus Christ is the Son of God who came to the earth for the salvation of mankind. According to the teaching of Christianity, we are all brothers and sisters. We should love everyone, including our enemies. We should forgive those who are wrong or right. The Bible is the holy book of Christianity, and their prayer house is known as a church. Islam. Islam is a monotheistic religion. There is only one Allah and Muhammad is his prophet. The message of God is revealed through him in the holy book of Quran Sharif. The word Islam means peace. It also means surrender to Allah. The teaching of Islam is that Allah is eternal, absolute, all-powerful and merciful. The purpose of human existence is to worship Allah. The Quran Sharif provides guidance on how man should behave in life. Since ancient times, there have been trade relations between India and Arabia. Arab traders used to visit the ports on the coast on Kerala. Islam spread in Arabia in the 7th century CE. Islam arrived in India in the same century through the Arab traders. The prayer house of Islam is known as mosque or masjid. Zoroastrianism. Since ancient times, the Zoroastrian people and Vedic people have shared ties, and sacred text of the Parsi or Zoroastrian people is the Avesta. The language of the Rig Veda and Avesta is similar. The Parsis came to India from the Pars or Fars province of Iran. Therefore, they are known as Parsis. It is mostly believed that they first came to Gujarat in the 8th century CE. Zarathustra or Zoroaster was the founder of the religion. Ahura Mazda is the name of their god. The element of fire and water are very important in their religion. The sacred fire burns in the temples, which are known as Agyaris. At the core of Parsi thinking are three main principles of conduct, namely good thoughts, good words, and good deeds.